I did not plan to destroy him. I just decided to become someone he could never touch again, and that ended up being far more devastating than anything I could have planned. My name is Connor. I am 29 years old. I live in Seattle, Washington. And 3 years ago, I was sitting in my apartment with nothing. No girlfriend, no reputation, no career, no savings. And the person responsible for all of it was someone I had called my best friend for 7 years. This is the story of what I lost, what I built, and the moment I realized that the best revenge was never revenge at all. Marcus and I met in high school, sophomore year. He sat next to me in chemistry class, copied my answers on the first test without asking, and then after class said thank you with such complete confidence that I actually laughed. He had that quality, the kind of charm that made you forgive things you would not forgive in anyone else. Teachers liked him. Girls liked him. Everyone liked him. I liked him most of all. For 7 years, he was my closest friend. Through high school, through college, through the first stumbling years of trying to figure out who we were as adults. He was the best man at a wedding speech he gave for our mutual friend that had the entire room in tears. He was the person I called the night my father had a health scare. He was the first person I told when I started falling for Maya. That last part was the mistake. Maya and I had been together for a year and a half when I introduced her to Marcus. I remember the moment clearly. We were all at a rooftop bar downtown. Summer. The kind of evening that feels easy and perfect. Marcus was charming and funny, and Maya laughed at everything he said. And I remember thinking how good it felt to have the two most important people in my life in the same place enjoying each other's company. I did not see what was already beginning. The three of us hung out together more after that. Group dinners, weekend trips with other friends. Marcus started texting Maya directly, funny memes, inside jokes from the group. And I noticed, but I told myself it was nothing. He was like that with everyone. That was just Marcus. Then one evening, Maya told me she needed to talk. She sat across from me in our apartment and she said she had feelings for someone else. She said she had not acted on them, but she could not keep pretending they were not there. She said she was sorry. She said she still cared about me deeply. I asked who it was. She did not say anything for a long moment. She did not have to. I already knew. I called Marcus that night. He picked up on the second ring. And before I could say a single word, he said, "Connor, I was going to call you. I am so sorry. I did not mean for this to happen. I did not mean for this to happen." 7 years of friendship, and that was what he had. I hung up. I did not call back. But that was only half of what he had done. The other half came out over the following weeks as people I worked with started treating me differently. Cooler, more distant. Questions that felt loaded. A promotion I had been quietly confident about suddenly going to someone else with less experience and fewer results. I started asking around carefully, quietly, and what I found out made the Maya situation feel almost minor by comparison. Marcus and I had worked at the same company, different departments, but the same building. And over the previous 6 months, while he was building something with Maya behind my back, he had also been having conversations with people in my office. Casual conversations, the kind where you express concern about a friend, where you mention that someone has been struggling, where you plant small, carefully worded doubts about a person's stability and reliability and judgment. He had been doing to my career what his wife had done to James's relationships, quietly, patiently, dressed in the language of friendship and concern. By the time I understood the full picture, I had lost my girlfriend of a year and a half, my closest friend of 7 years, and the professional reputation I had spent 4 years building. All of it dismantled by one person. I'm not going to tell you I handled what came next with grace. I did not. There were weeks I did not sleep properly. Weeks where I replayed every conversation looking for the moments I should have seen it coming. Weeks where I was so consumed by anger that it was the first thing I felt in the morning and the last thing I felt at night. I wanted to expose him. I wanted to go to HR. I wanted to call every person he had spoken to and tell them exactly what he was. I wanted him to feel a fraction of what I was feeling. But I did not do any of those things. Not because I was noble, not because I had forgiven him, because someone I respected told me something that stopped me cold. My Uncle David, a man who had built and lost and rebuilt his own business twice, called me one evening during that period. I had not told him much, just enough that he could hear something was wrong. He said, "Connor, the people who do things like this are counting on your reaction. They want the explosion. They want the confrontation. They want to be the reason you lose control, because that gives them the story. You become the unstable one. You become the problem, and suddenly everything they said about you feels true." He said, "The only move that actually costs them something is becoming someone they cannot explain, someone they cannot diminish, someone so clearly excellent that every whisper they planted just sounds like jealousy in hindsight." He said, "Don't get even, get ahead." I wrote that down. I still have it. I started the next morning, not dramatically, just one decision. I was going to become the best version of myself that I was capable of becoming, and I was going to do it so consistently and so visibly that every person Marcus had spoken to would eventually have to reconcile what he had said about me with what they could plainly see in front of them. I requested a transfer to a different department within the company. Fresh start. No history. No whisper campaign. Just my work and what it demonstrated about who I actually was. I worked harder than I had ever worked. Not out of anger. Anger burns out. Out of clarity. I knew exactly what I was capable of, and I was done letting someone else's version of me be the one people saw. 6 months in, I was leading a project that outperformed every benchmark. 12 months in, I was promoted to a position senior to the one Marcus had quietly worked to keep me from. 18 months in, I was headhunted by a company across the city, offering me nearly double my salary to come build something new. I took it. On my last day at the old company, I walked past Marcus in the hallway. He looked at me. I looked at him. I did not stop. I did not say anything. I did not need to. Everything I needed to say, I had already said. Just not with words. I am 29 now. I am not with Maya. That chapter closed, and I closed it without bitterness. She made a choice, and she has to live with it. And that is between her and whatever version of Marcus she eventually discovered. I am not friends with Marcus. That door is shut permanently, and I feel nothing about that anymore. Not anger, not sadness. Just a clean and complete absence of anything where that friendship used to be. What I have instead is a career that I built on my own terms after someone tried to take it from me. A team of people who know my actual work and judge me by it. A small apartment in a neighborhood I love, in a city that has given me more than I expected. And the knowledge, quiet but solid, that the person who tried to write a smaller story for me failed. Not because I fought him, because I refused to live in the story he wrote. Here is what I want to say to anyone listening who has had someone try to shrink them. Try to rewrite who they are in other people's eyes. Try to take what they built and poison what they could not take. Do not give them the explosion they are waiting for. Do not become the version of yourself they described. Get quiet, get focused, get to work, because the most devastating thing you can do to someone who tried to make you small is to become so undeniably, so visibly, so completely yourself that their version of you simply cannot survive contact with the real thing. That is not revenge. That is something much better. That is freedom.